Jasmine Crockett is the gift that keeps on giving. Okay, Jasmine Crockett, we know by now, you guys love when I do my Jasmine Crockett impression because this mofo crack-a-lacka-checka-puck-a-puck, that is Jasmine Crockett, okay? But she's trying out some new accents like Kamala Harris. There's this thing in the Democratic Party where they just make up new accents every week. Like one day Kamala Harris is like, I'm a Jamaican man, listening to Bob Marley, man, I'm Jamaican. And then Kamala Harris, she's like doing a Hispanic, like Mexican accent, like, oh, lo siento, entonces, Monday gonna be... Kamala Harris, Jasmine Crockett, these people are frauds. Speaking of the fraudulent behavior, Jasmine Crockett, she was on a show recently and she claimed that Republicans in Texas were coming up to her and saying that they just didn't like Trump and that she had their support.
I have been in all kinds of cities and airports and otherwise where people walk up to me and of course they don't have an R on their forehead, but they tell me that they have a difference when it comes to politics, but they love me. And so I think it is that actually concerns him. And it is a reason that he wants to make sure that he is doing everything that he can to stop us.
As someone from Texas, I'm from Dallas, let me tell you, I think about 96% of Republicans agree with President Trump and everything that he's doing. Okay, so you're telling me out of this 4%, they've managed to track down Jasmine Crockett in the airport to tell her how much they love her and to heap praise on her? Maybe someone like the Liz Cheney Republicans are doing that. I just don't believe it. Okay, I will believe it when I see it. Jasmine Crockett, she's always filming a TikTok or an Instagram live. So if this happened, it would be on camera and I would believe it. But Jasmine Crockett, she sounds like such a narcissist. She's like, they love me. They tell me that they love me and they love someone like me. Who is telling you that? Maybe the voices in your head, maybe your team of yes men. And we know Jasmine Crockett's a diva because there were those stories where she wants her team to put a pillow behind her back. They have to carry her purse, open the car door. She wants personal chauffeurs allegedly driving her around. She is a diva. She wanted to be Beyonce. She didn't end up being Beyonce. She ended up in the United States Congress, okay, and ended up all of our problems. So Jasmine Crockett, I do not believe that people were coming up to her because, like I've said, she is one of the most uncouth, inarticulate women, and she does not represent Texas values. Even when there was the roundtable down in Texas in Kerrville where you had President Trump, the First Lady, Ted Cruz, and Cornyn, and Greg Abbott. I was down there in Kerrville after the horrific flooding at Camp Mystic, and those young girls lost their lives, and so many other people lost their lives. Jasmine Crockett didn't even show up to the roundtable. You had folks, bipartisan folks coming together, leaders around Texas. Because of this crisis, Jasmine Crockett was nowhere to be found. Jasmine Crockett did not even show up at the roundtable. So I just have a hard time believing that folks in Texas are heaping praise onto her because she does not represent Texas values. What I hear from people in her district is, we don't hear from Jasmine Crockett and we're embarrassed by her. And I hear from Black women who tell me all the time in my comments and in my DMs, they see we are embarrassed. There's such little representation for Black women in politics, especially on the national stage. So to have someone like Jasmine Crockett go out there with all her fake accents and personalities and to be so uncouth and such an embarrassment, I understand why Black women are embarrassed by Jasmine Crockett. So I don't believe this one bit that people are coming up to her in airports. I think it's an interesting story. She wants us to believe she's the next Princess Diana. Jasmine Crockett, good for you. I want to talk about snacks for a minute. Back in the day, chips and fries were cooked in tallow. Then the 90s hit and big corporations pushed cheap seed oils. Now those oils are 20% of our calories, linked to inflammation and metabolic problems. Not cool. You guys know I love Vandy Crisps, and they are bringing it back with just 3 ingredients: heirloom potatoes, sea salt, and 100% grass-fed beef tallow, no seed oils. That tallow is loaded with nutrients for your skin, brain, and hormones, and it makes these chips taste unreal. You feel light, energized, no bloat or crash like with regular chips. They're 100% American made, no shortcuts, and hands down the best chip I've ever had. The tallow means you're satisfied without overeating. My favorite, Smokehouse Barbecue. It's next level. Ready to give Vandy a try? Go to vandycrisps.com/link and use code LINK for 25% off your first order. That's vandycrisps.com/link, code LINK for 25% off your first order. And if you don't feel like ordering online, that is fine. Vandy is now available nationwide at your local Sprouts supermarket. So stop by and pick up a bag before they're gone.